Good evening, everyone. We're just going to wait for a minute more to more people to join, and then we'll start with our today's episode. Hello. So, welcome to the fifth episode of the Frontliners. In today's episode, we're going to talk about COVID recovery, the after effects of COVID, and the critical role of physiotherapy in treatment of COVID and the complete recovery process. And for that, with us today, we have two physios who have been working in hospitals on COVID duty, Dr. Chetna and Dr. Geeta, one who has worked in Sancheti Hospital for the COVID duty, and another one who's worked in another one who's worked in Sassoon Hospital. So we're going to get a different perspective on what their experiences was, how the patient treatments were, how the recovery was, and all about their experience on COVID. So let's welcome Dr. Chetna and Dr. Geeta. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello,
Thank you
everyone.
so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yes.
Okay, so let's start with our today's episode. So my first question is, how was your experience working in a COVID hospital? Because you guys have seen a first-hand experience of how the patient is after recovery. So tell us about your experience to start with.
Mm, For me, I was working in Sassoon Hospital. It was really an awaited experience. I was just waiting since lockdown to get this experience to work with in COVID patients and everything to wear the PP kit. The excitement was good, but it was a little bit scary as there were news. Everything was in so chaotic. There were so many patients. But as we start working, it was really great experience. But Sassoon had a lot of patients. There were like around 40 plus patients I was treating every day. So it was
Oh,
a
wow.
very different experience. It was like chaotic, but I got to learn a lot. The everything was really nice, and this experience, as we have never ever experienced such pandemic before till now, so it was a very good learning experience for me.
True, true, very true. What about you, Chetna? How was your experience?
So even my experience was very great. I mean, I have learned a lot more things from this experience. It was very motivating and it has boosted my confidence because when you are working in such a center, you behave as a multidisciplinary team. You act as a multidisciplinary team. There where you talk to your residential doctors, you talk to other doctors, you discuss the cases, how to go with the flow of the treatment. So this somehow increase your confidence, this somehow motivates you to do much
Very true.
better. But there are some hurdles. I mean, I can say that it's not that easy to work and wear in that pp kit and work for 4 to 5 hours, so
Of
you
course.
sweat profusely in that pp kit. But then overall, if we see apart from the obstacles and the hurdles, it is a very nice experience and a memorable experience which I will remember forever.
Of course, we can imagine. But for us as medical professional, it is always exciting, and we look forward to having new experiences and serving people. But for your parents, it must have been a little more frightening, and there must have been some resistance from their side, right? So, what was that like?
Yes, my parents were resistive in the initial stage because this pandemic is new to everyone. I mean, up till now they were listening it from TVs. They were hearing it that how the risk factors, how it affects the elderly population. So they were hesitated. But then ultimately, when I started doing my duty, they came to know that how much precautions we are taking, what treatment we
True.
are giving, and how it is helping to the patient. So when they understood, they somehow felt very proud of me. And today, because of this duty, even their perspective toward the covid has changed. So
Right,
yeah.
right. Of course. And what about you, Geeta?
On the contrary, very opposite. My parents were really supportive and encouraging. They were like, when are you going to start? When are you going to get the
Oh,
chance to work? You should learn because you have studied so many years. For doing such thing, you get to learn new things. So they were very supportive, and it was really shocking for me
of
because
course.
everybody I was listening, don't go out, don't do this, don't do that, and they were like, you should work, you should learn more about this. So it was really a different uh, thing coming from my parents. I was really proud of them.
Yeah, and we were glad that parents are supportive and they do. So without their support, all the frontliners will not be able to do the kind of job they do on the front lines. So we are grateful to all the parents, to all the doctors out there. Thank you so much. Geeta, you were working in Sassoon Hospital. It must be like a lot of patients, much more chaotic. And how did you go about the whole isolation process there?
Isolation over there for working. For the working days, I had given accommodation, and so I was given a separate room. So I was isolated in that room. I used to work, then immediately go into the room. Everything was done properly. After the working, I home quarantined myself until I got myself a test done and checked myself up. Till then, I separated myself, isolated myself in a room, and food, water, whatever necessities were there were left outside my room, and I used to pick them up and keep a distance from the family, wearing mask at home for around 14 days, I guess. So it was afterwards the isolation was a little bit difficult, but it was okay. Means that was not a issue.
Right, right. And I guess that care we all should take and that precaution should be taken. And so, Chetna, about the whole physiotherapy approach or physiotherapy involvement in the treatment of COVID patients. Initially, when in the March, the whole situation started, everybody was talking about medical management. And physiotherapy treatment wasn't in the conversations as much. So, was physiotherapy part of whole COVID recovery since the start, or it was introduced a little later? What do you think?
So, as far as I know, Sancheti started admitting COVID patients on month of July or something. So,
Right,
since they started admitting, the physiotherapy was part of the treatment since the start initially,
right,
and now also it has been part. So, the physiotherapy also they started hand in hand along with the medical management
right,
in
right.
Sancheti.
And for other hospitals, like I remember 2 to 2.5 months ago is when the physiotherapy was introduced and
Yes.
was part of almost every protocol, right?
Yeah.
Yes. For here in Pune, to my knowledge, it started few months after March, but in Mumbai it started a little bit earlier than this. So it differs from place to place how they started, but now it is a really ongoing process, and every treatment protocol involves physiotherapy management in it.
Right, and we are seeing great results with that because I the other day I was hearing an interview from a pulmonologist in Nair Hospital. He said that with physiotherapy, the oxygen requirement went down from 15 liters to 10 liters within just a week of physiotherapy for a single patient, which is a great improvement. So, what do you think? What is the role of physiotherapy, and what kind of treatment you administered during your time in COVID duty?
The basic we start with the when the patient comes with difficulty in breathing, so that is managed. The reduction in breathlessness is done. Then there is maintenance of oxygen saturation, which is lower in these patients, so they require oxygen therapy. So to reduce that, breathing exercises, breathing techniques. So some patients have secretions, airway clearance techniques are used. Then basic for patient mobilization for the immobile patients, unstable patients, patients who are on ventilator. So these all things are the basic necessities, and early mobilization is always preferred so that the patient has faster recovery, and uh, immediately he will be relieved from his symptoms.
Right, right. Would you like to add something to that, Chetan?
Yes. So when patients are given early mobilization, as Geeta ma'am said, that there are few techniques which helps in COVID patient. They improve the oxygenation. It improves the condition of the patient. Along with that, when patients are given active exercises, okay, in the initial stages, early mobilization exercises. Of course, it depends upon the hemodynamical status of the patient. But when patients are mobilized as soon as possible, it has found that it is directly linked with the reduction in the hospital stay and reduction in the ICU days. So sooner
Right.
you mobilize, sooner you leave the ICU. So this is how it is. But again, it depends on patient to patient that how patient is hemodynamically stable.
Right, of course, of course. So not only the respiratory part, not only the breathing exercises and airway
Yes.
clearance, along with that mobilization. So to our viewers, mobilization is basically patient needs to get out of the bed and move around. It is
Yes.
important, it's
Yes.
imperative because there is a lot of fatigue. There's a
Hmm.
lot of weakness, and because of that, COVID patients tend to be bed bound, and it is important they get out of it and walk around so that they
Yes.
recover quickly. And that is what your experience was. So what was your
Yes.
experience in the recovery? How did physiotherapy help your patients?
So basically, COVID-19 patients, when they are coming most commonly with the signs and symptoms of cough, difficulty in breathing, and generalized muscle weakness. So, along with that, they also have reduction in the blood oxygen level. So, when there is reduction in the blood oxygen level, it ultimately calls for the oxygenation and oxygen therapy or mechanical ventilation. So, there are certain exercises, for example, deep breathing exercises, breathing control, which improves the tidal volume in patients, and some thoracic expansion exercises which
Okay,
improves the
I'm
lung
going to interrupt
capacity.
you there. For our viewers, we need to talk in a bit of layman terms so that they understand. Like tidal volume is the capacity of your lungs to inhale the air, and it's very important that it should be somewhere around 3 liters. Otherwise, the breathlessness and shortness of breath that starts to happen. So let's try and give out the information in a little more non-technical
Yes.
terms. Please go ahead. Chit.
Okay. So when the exercise such as thoracic expansion exercises were given, it helps to expand your chest. So when your chest expands properly, it again improves the oxygenation in patient, oxygen levels in the patient. And as we all know that, COVID patients, when they are in hospital, when they are in the ICU setup, they tend to have a respiratory muscle weakness because of, mechanical ventilation or because of oxygen therapy. So respiratory muscle training, even it has found to improve the exercises such as respiratory muscle training, even it has found that it improves the oxygenation. And ICU
Right.
patient, they tend to be in the recumbent position, they tend to be in the bedridden position for a longer period of time. So it again calls for some sort of complications. So again, complications, when they are arising, it halts the recovery, it halts the progress of the patient. So
Of
physiotherapy
course.
again helps in minimizing these complications. So this is
Right.
how it works.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much. That was a very
Yes.
elaborate and informative answer. So, Geeta, coming to you, so do you think the speed of recovery of the patient differs from patient to patient depending on the comorbidities, the age, or what other factors are there depending on which the speed of recovery changes?
Oh, absolutely. Because the more the age, the less the immunity there's, and the virus is mostly attacking the immunocompromised patients, the patients who have more comorbidities, patients who age is more than 60 are more at high risk, patients who have diabetes, hypertension, or any heart conditions, respiratory diseases are at higher risk. And this is said, it is like the according to WHO, around 0.1% to 25% people, this is the fatality rate around going around the world. And as the age increases, the fatality rate also increases. So it
True,
is
true.
actually uh, really depend on person to person and on his age and the comorbidities and the lifestyle, everything is counted in it.
Okay, right, right. Very true. Anything else, Chetna, you would like to add to that?
Yeah, so the as the age increases, so the elderly person and those who have comorbidities, so it has also been found by the studies that elderly population along with the comorbidities, it is directly linked with the hospitalization and the ICU. They moreover they require the oxygen therapy and mechanical ventilation. So because of
Right.
this factor, the hospital stay in them increases and the recovery is little bit slower as compared to, we compare it with the those who are below 40 and those who are without any comorbidities.
Right, right, true. And also people who have comorbidities or who are little elderly, in that in them, does the oxygen assistance is the requirement is more, or do these people require more ventilator support? Has do you did you observe that, and is that like how? What was your
Uh,
thought on that?
So basically, when those who were elderly and those who were with the comorbidities, they were more commonly associated with the oxygen support
Right,
and
right,
mechanical support. But if we see, the physiotherapy helps in weaning this patient. I mean,
right.
physiotherapy
True,
positively
true.
influences the weaning progress in this patients. So
Right.
yes.
And in such patients who require oxygen assistance or who were on ventilators, do they require prolonged physiotherapy care compared to the other patients?
Yes, so physiotherapy, regular physiotherapy, when given to the COVID patient, it reduces the oxygen consumption. As you said, when patient was on 15 liters of oxygen, then it reduced down to 10 liters of
Right,
oxygen.
right.
So this is how the physiotherapy improves the progression of patient. But then this patient tend to be on prolonged ventilator, they tend to be on prolonged oxygen therapy. So there are certain complications which takes place because of bedridden, because of the amount of time they are spending. It causes respiratory muscle weakness, so the amount of rehabilitation needed to them is a little bit prolonged as compared to the other people who are actively performing everything.
Right, right. Very true. Anything else you would like to add to that, Geeta?
Yeah, most of the time she is covered, but
Yeah.
mostly
Okay.
patients who are on ventilator, she is covered
Right.
well.
Yeah. So they basically do require a prolonged
Yeah,
physiotherapy, which is
they
true.
require.
Let's for the we have a few more questions that we want to ask to you, and for that I would like to invite Rupal Sancheti, Director of Helios. Welcome, Rupal. Good evening. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, good evening. Hello. Hi,
Good
Hello.
Geeta.
evening,
Hi,
Good
ma'am.
evening.
Deepna. Hi, Saurav. Thank you for joining us. I wanted to actually also come in and talk to all three of you with some of the questions that are pertinent in the viewers' minds. It's been a great session so far. Thank you so much. One of the questions that I wanted to ask what kind of long-term effects or any kind of effects that you see post-COVID recovery, like after the patient goes back home, what are some of the effects that you've seen on the respiratory system? And maybe we can start with Geeta and then Chetna and Saurabh.
Sure.
Uh, Now there are many studies and many doctors have reported that patients who are recovered 2 to 3 months after post recovery of from COVID, they are coming with symptoms like breathlessness, then fast breathing, chest pain, cough, dry cough, everything. And upon investigating, patients are seen landing up in pulmonary fibrosis. So there are many studies. The patients are coming with symptoms of stroke. So there are many studies. One of the studies mentions that 12% of the patients showed with myocarditis. 90% of the patients who were after post recovery showed impaired lung function, which actually reduced down to 20 to 30%. I'm really sorry. Then
That's
there are
okay.
36% of the patients who had neurological impairments like dizziness, impaired consciousness, muscle injuries, seizures. So, in all, it is too early to comment that it will be a long-term effect, but these things are showing up in the researches, in the ongoing researches, and doctors are reporting about these all comments, and it should be considered in the therapy for the treatment sessions so that we prevent these complications.
Chetna, I don't know if you want to add anything to that. If not, I had a add-on question itself, but go ahead.
Yes. Actually, if we see, as Geeta ma'am rightly said, that patients are coming back to the hospital with the complaints of breathlessness and cough and difficulty in maintaining the saturation. So, even in Mumbai, in KEM hospital, have reported some cases that 2 to 3 patients returned to the hospital with the same complaints, and when they were evaluated, that they developed respiratory and pulmonary fibrosis. So this is, we can say that post COVID-19 lung disease, but it is, as Geeta ma'am said, it is very early to comment on the number of statistics. Even I would like to say that one of my old patient, okay, whom I used to know since very long, even that patient was COVID-19 positive, and now before 2 months the patient is complaining of breathlessness, patient is complaining of difficulty in breathing while talking, while walking. He's also complaining of chest pain. So when he we ruled out by CT scan, it was found out that there was no glass patchy shadows in the lung, which is suggestive of lung fibrosis. So yeah, there are certain cases which are coming up and which are post COVID complications.
So, okay, to Saurabh, pass it on to you. You heard them speak and you have your own kind of knowledge and understanding of the thing. What do
Right.
you see the reason why people are coming back with this, and what do you think is should be the interventions when they are at the hospital immediately after going back? Would you like to comment on that?
Yeah, for sure. So I guess the number of people that are coming back to hospitals will increase much more as we go forward. So right now, because of frontliners, I've talked to a lot of doctors, a lot of patients who have recovered from COVID or who are suffering from COVID. So one thing that comes always in the conversation is after coming back home, they're just so happy that they have been discharged from the hospital. Right now, compared to their symptoms, what were earlier and what were in the hospitalization, right now they're just feeling that no, we are okay. We don't have any symptoms. But when they start going about their daily routine, when they start going about their daily activities, that is when the complaints start of breathlessness for just walking down the road. Breathlessness was climbing a flight of stairs. So whenever patients are going to go back to their normal routine, that is when these issues are going to surface, and that is when these patients are coming back to hospitals. And as you rightly said, Rupal, there has to be an intervention somewhere in between as far as physiotherapy is concerned. Because in this 1 month that is passed where they get back to their normal life, breathing exercises, physiotherapy, strengthening of their respiratory muscles, and all of that needs to continue to reduce the long-term effect or to reduce the post-COVID effects on their respiratory system.
But tell me, again, I've talked to a lot of doctors. We belong to the healthcare community, all of us. When I've talked to some of the doctors at KEM and Sahyadri as to what is, what do you see when the patient go back? What Saurabh said is exactly what it is. We are just so happy that they are being discharged, that we
Yes.
are working around the clock to make sure that they live, they go back home. So nobody's really looking at the post-COVID rehab. And now when the cases have come up, like Geeta and Chetna said, patients have come back with pulmonary fibrosis. Now the interventions will start. So Geeta, what do you recommend or what do you think should happen at the hospital when the patients are there? What do you suggest? That should, in terms of knowledge, because we talk to patients and they say that atta sagar theek hai, kai problem nahi hai, we are okay.
Yeah, actually this happens because patients are really tired of hospital stays long, so they just want to leave. But actually supervised sessions after recovery, even after they are left out of the hospital, discharged from the hospital, it is required, so that we should explain them that they shouldn't land up in these conditions, because as these conditions are sounding very small, but they are very severe, irreversible sometimes. So this will be their lifetime suffering if they don't take proper precautions. So they should be explained for supervised physiotherapy sessions. Progression of the session should be told to them that whatever exercise was given now, but we need to progress as you are going to progress in your working, because now you're bedridden, or you must be not working so much, but when you go to your daily lifestyle, the amount of energy required will be more, so you will need more progression in your exercises. So that is the thing you need to explain to them. You need to tell them you need supervised sessions, or according, and it also depends on patient to patient. Some patients are young, some patients are old. Generally patients who are old enough, they cannot do by their own, are it should be little bit compulsory, or they should be explained a lot more in their way to take the sessions properly.
Right.
So, Chetna, what is your opinion if there is supervised therapy or there are tele sessions or they're doing it on their own? Does it, cancel out the effects on the respiratory system? Are they going to be okay for a longer time? Or what is your opinion from your experience? I know it's too early to say that's what we are
Yes.
saying, but what's your experience like?
So COVID-19, basically it has two forms. One is the milder form and one is the severe form. So those who have got milder form of COVID-19, they somehow manage. But those who are with the severe form of COVID-19, those who are on the mechanical ventilation, or we can say those who are on the oxygen therapy, they might require, supervised physiotherapy session, because even after discharge, we see if they are performing certain activities, the saturation falls down. Okay. And then it is very important that we educate when the patients are in intensive care unit, when the patients are in COVID center, that this is not the end here, that this is where
Right.
the now rehabilitation starts, that now you are not performing any activities. But when you will go back to your routine, when you will be performing your functional activities, the amount of energy, the amount of endurance which will require, that will be higher. So it will be better if we educate them, that they should be able to perform exercises even after they are discharged, or they should take supervised physiotherapy session, so that they'll be able to get a better recovery and better progression of exercises. Because in the initial days, in the acute phase, we are just giving simple exercises so that we can wean them from the mechanical ventilation or oxygen support. But when they are discharged, it is necessary that we progress the exercises, we give them the strengthening exercises, we give them the endurance exercises, so that these complications will be minimized and patient will not come back to the hospital as of they are started to come.
So I think what I'm hearing all three of y'all say is the whole progression and the supervised therapy is extremely important. You need to kind of strengthen your respiratory system. And Saurabh, I want to hear from you because I know you're starting to talk to patients. You're already treating patients at their home after they have recovered and gone back home post-COVID. So what has your experience been like and what is your protocol like?
Right. So first of all, they have summed up really well the answer. There are key takeaways from what they spoke, and I would just like to reiterate them. So first thing is uh, pulmonary fibrosis. It is irreversible. Whatever damages happen, they are irreversible once they happen. But it is a possibly preventable condition. So that's why people need to understand, do not wait for things to get worse, because then it's very difficult to reverse them. So that's why the whole home protocol that should be followed with a supervised physiotherapy is very important, because as they rightly said, see, progression. As physical exercises, we understand whenever we start doing exercises, you can't just keep doing exercise with the same intensity. There has to be some difference. Same,
Yeah.
exactly same goes for your respiratory exercises. At the end, those are muscles, and any muscle requires better resistance, more intensity to keep getting strengthened. So that progression can only be achieved when there is a professional physiotherapist who's looking at you, who's understanding that you're getting better, and making the exercises tune accordingly and making it more challenging for you so that you keep on recovering. So these things are very important. And so apart right now, as at Helios, we have also started treating patients during COVID who have home quarantined themselves, because in hospitals now, importance of physiotherapy as is slowly well established, and a lot of COVID centers are having stationed physiotherapists who are taking care. But at home quarantine, there is no importance of physiotherapy that has been conveyed to the patients. So at Helios, we are trying to make that happen, that people who have home quarantine, we are doing online sessions for them, and with them also, like a direct biofeedback that we get when we treat a COVID patient is the O2 saturation, right?
Yes.
So when we see immediate improvement in O2 saturations from the day one, from the first session of physiotherapy, and that continues to go on. So for home quarantine patients who are currently suffering from COVID, physiotherapy is important. And also, as Chetna rightly said, when the intervention will start happening at the hospital level, where the intensivist or the physios working in with the patients are prescribing or are explaining patient the importance of home physiotherapy, when that will start happen, patients will be more aware of what is going to happen. And we are seeing great results with patients who have already recovered from COVID and are doing sessions with us. So they have started improving. Their day goes by, where they used to feel breathless, where they used to feel tired after an hour of activity in their day-to-day routine. Now it is getting better day by day. So for sure, physiotherapy is required. It's just that we need to create more awareness around it.
Yes, true.
Saurabh, one just add-on question to that. You said that even when people are home quarantined, they don't need to go to the hospital because they're asymptomatic. But maybe, we cannot go to their homes because they're completely in isolation. How powerful is online physiotherapy sessions during this whole time? Should we wait to actually go to their homes, or can we just continue online sessions? And how powerful is that?
So we have two examples right here who are wearing PP kits, right? They were
Yeah.
trying to maintain their distance from the patient. So if you see in that way, they were doing online consultation being in patient's room. It was very effective. Everybody
Right.
is treating COVID patients by maintaining that distance. So I believe there should be like zero problem doing an online consultation. It is as effective because a trained physiotherapist's eye can catch whatever they want to catch even over a screen, and it has been proven very effective for all the patients that we have been treating so far.
That's great. I think if there is any concluding statement before we take the audience question, Geeta, if there's something that you want to tell the viewers in terms of the importance of not waiting, right? That's the keyword in COVID is what I have learned. Don't wait for anything to kind of progress further. But any concluding comments from you, Geeta?
I would really like to say, be safe, monitor yourself. If you have any symptoms, don't hesitate. Visit a doctor, take your physiotherapy sessions. Don't say that even if you don't have symptoms, continue your exercises. Even if you cannot visit, take online sessions. Like Sir said very rightly, they are very effective. If you land up in any other condition, that will be lifelong suffering for you all. So better take precaution other than cure. So I would really like them to be aware of these things. That's all.
Geeta, Chetna, how about you?
Geeta ma'am has already covered all the points, and I would just like to say, yeah, that very necessary that patients should take all the precautions, and even after they get discharged, they should continue doing physiotherapy as they have been advised. And also, when patients are getting this complication, these are lifelong, and patient may require oxygen support even lifelong. So, physiotherapy, cardiorespiratory physiotherapy, can minimize these complications. So it is very necessary that patients should continue taking these exercises even after they get discharged. So even in Sancheti also, we give when the patient get discharged, we give them the discharge summary, we give them the video so that they will be able to perform exercises. But there are certain patients in whom it is very necessary that you supervise their sessions, because they may not be able to perform the correct method. So yeah, continuing physiotherapy is going to be beneficial to patients.
Great. Thank you so much. I think I agree with you completely. And Saurabh, I'm going to hand it over to you for any comments, and then we can take the audience questions.
Yeah, sure. So just to conclude our conversation, I would say, see, we have already started speaking about post-COVID, post-pandemic world, right? With, in the social sense or economic sense, the similar way we need to start talking about patients and what is going to happen post-COVID. There has to be more awareness. There has to be a better approach. Just getting discharged from the hospital is not end of that effect of COVID on you. Your real recovery starts after that, because there should not be any long-term effects. And in a country like India, as it is, a lot of statistics, a lot of studies, they come in very late, and by the time like majority of people are already affected by it. So I guess with our effort at Sancheti and Helios, we will try to do our bit to make sure that people are aware that your recovery doesn't stop when you get discharged from hospital. The actual functional rehabilitation starts from there, and that is what we want to push out in the world and make more people aware of it.
Great. Thank you so much. I think we can take some of the audience questions for Geeta and Chetna. Thank you so much, Geeta, Chetna. It was a pleasure talking to you. But stay online. I think we'll take some questions. Thanks,
Thank
Thank
you
you
Saurabh.
so
so
much
much,
for
ma'am.
joining us.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm just going to go through if we have any questions. Okay, so we have a question. Do you prefer a different physiotherapy for patients in recovery period?
Yeah, so when the patients are in recovery period, of course, it now the treatment is differs from patient to patient. What are the signs and symptoms patient are having? What is the current situation of patient? But when patient is in the recovery period, the physiotherapy changes. You give them more over strengthening exercises so that they return to the work. But when they are in the acute care, when they are in the initial stage, we do not give them a very stressful exercises which will stress their cardiorespiratory system. But when they are in the recovery phase, when they are recovering from a mechanical ventilator, or you can say when they are weaning from the O2 support, or when they are asymptomatic or recovering from the COVID-19, so the type of exercise will change based on how much patient can tolerate and how much patient can handle.
Right, very true. Uh, okay, the next question, Geeta, you can answer this. Is prevention possible if we start physiotherapy in the early phase? I guess this is when this the prevention from the respiratory complications that can happen
Um,
post-COVID. So is it possible if we start physiotherapy in early phase to prevent the complications?
See, we can just now speculate that we can prevent, we can reduce the chances of getting the post-COVID diseases or whatever symptoms are coming forward. As for now, ongoing studies are coming. We can see that if these exercises or these interventions are working or not, but it is better to start beforehand only than to wait for it and think that if it is happening then we will start later on. So
Right.
you can start with this, it's like that.
Perfect. Perfect. That is true. I guess that's all the questions we have. Okay, thank you so much, Geeta, and thank you so much, Chetna, for joining us today. It was really lovely interacting with you, and you've really given all the information about your experiences and how physiotherapy is important during hospitalization as well as post hospitalization. Thank you so much for joining us and for all the insights that you've given us today.
Thank you so much for
Thank you
giving us
so
this
much for
platform so
inviting
that we
us.
could speak how the situation and how physiotherapy can help in the future scope.
True, true,
Yes.
for sure.
Thank you so
Thank you so
much.
much. And to all our viewers, thank you so much for joining us today. We hope that through the Frontliners series, we were able to get very good speakers and give out information which was factual, which was relevant to current scenario, and you have got a good and verified information from us through the series. Thank you so much for being with us throughout the series.